the question is to all my veterans out there, if you could start over, what would you change about your military career? Y'all started out, give her a break. I shared this answer with a coworker, and it wasn't what they expected someone to say. So if I could start over in my military career, the number one thing I would change, I would have never bought the SGLI life insurance.
Really?
Yeah, I would have never bought it. And this is why. So, and to explain it, I think it stands for Service Group Life Insurance. I think it's
Service Group Members Life Insurance.
Yeah. So when you go into basic training, they'll at some point they'll come in and tell you about this life insurance, and it made sense because like, hey, you pay X amount of money, and if some people happen to not make it out of a situation, then your family will be compensated, taken care of, right? Not like, okay, cool, I got to do it. So I had it, paid for it my whole career. I'd probably say my last 6 years in my Air Force career, I learned about whole life insurance. And then once I figured, like when I learned that, I'm like, what, wait a minute. I really looked at like my SGLI, and I'm like, so you're telling me for 14 years, I've been putting this money into this thing. I have no cash value and I can't take it with me. When I go, it's basically a term policy that ends at the end of your enlistment. I had no idea. Man. Being a, young snot-nosed kid from the hood, we don't learn things like that.
But you know what? That's back on the military's fault, because the people they bring in, they don't fully explain any of that to us. When I was 19 and selecting SGLI, first of all, we were forced to get it.
Yeah, and I don't remember having a choice. You're right.
No, I don't even. I was like, wait a second. I don't think I had a choice. They were like, which option do you want? I was like, oh, I guess I'll take the 500,000 one.
That's
like,
what I did.
What I mean?
Yeah. That's exactly what I did.
And you're right. It is term that ends at your enlistment. So I told you I used to sell life insurance here in the state of Texas.
You sure did. I forgot that
so
you
did said whole life. I was like immediately.
Nah, man, what brought this question up is because a friend of mine, I don't know about you, but no, you're getting there too now because you got older ones. But I'm at a point in my life where my friends' children are getting older. They want to go to the Air Force, and so my friend had called me last week. And asked me for advice because her daughter wants to go to the Air Force. I'm like, hey, don't get the SGLI, get a whole life policy. And this is why, right? Because for those that don't know, right? Because again, news you could use. We want you to be good and successful, and we want you to be abundant. You know what I mean? And a whole life policy can help with that because it builds cash value. Without getting too deep in the weeds of it all, basically it builds a cash value over time. It's not as, I guess, depending on different people's investments, styles, it's not as attractive as say like the stock market because the interest rates are low, but the interest rate is guaranteed. Me, I like that guaranteed for show money, and it compounds. So that what was it? Einstein said that compound interest was the eighth wonder of the world. You know what I mean? Like that compound interest, man, is no joke. So, I mean, I got my whole life policy that I have now towards the end of my Air Force career. But imagine if I would have got that at the beginning of a 20-year career, the amount of compound interest that would have built for the cash value. Ah, man. So that's the one thing I would change because, I mean, fast forward, the policy that I end up getting later on in life, but one, it costs more because I'm older. I haven't been beat up by the military, so I'm gonna have a higher premium. You get it low, but, a lower premium when you're young and healthy, right?
Life insurance isn't talked about when you're young because you talk about paying $10 a month. That's nothing. You pay more than that for Netflix. You know what I mean? Yeah. $10 a month can get you a really decent whole life policy, and before you know it, God forbid you don't have to use it for 60 years, and that thing just grows.
It just grows. Or let's say you have a 20-year military career in a compound, and you can use that cash value to invest in a home, a business, anything that builds value. I would say that don't blow it on those stupid ish.
Yeah, no. You want to put it on an asset that's going to go up in appreciation, not depreciate.
Like what you did with the STEMI money.
Oh yeah.
Stimulus money to buy a business and flip that thing. Hey, that's what you do. You get that when you're young, right? And you're right. I don't know why, we weren't really being educated about stuff like that when we're young, but we got to, man. We got to have stuff like that. But yeah, that would be the one thing I would change. If I could go back and start my military career over, that's what I would do. What about you, Bobby? What's the one thing you would change about your military career if you can go back and start it all over?
Well, I've told you before, obviously being in the Army for as long as I have. When I first came into the Army, I didn't have no guidance. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was trying to get out of an abusive relationship. And so I used the Army to get out of that spot because I didn't have no guidance, right? So if I could have seen 37-year-old Bobby doing cyber stuff, probably wouldn't have joined the Army. All right. Probably wouldn't have joined the Army. However, I am fully convinced that because of the decisions I've made in my military career have led me exactly here where I am today. And I'm not disappointed about that at all.
That's what's up.
The Army has definitely toughened me up quite a bit in some areas of my life where I needed it. And, I can't fault the military for that. It did its job.
Yeah.
But when I came into the Army, I came in as a civil affairs specialist. So I came in as special operations actually at the time.
Civil affairs.
Civil affairs
when I came in.
Yep. So that was my first MOS, and I was having a hard time getting promoted. And so I either had to go to a unit in El Paso or just kind of suck it up, or either try to reclass. And so there was on our UMR, it's a unit manning roster, came up. My commander ended up. I was always on orders doing stuff at my unit. That's the biggest thing about the reserves that people don't know about. You can do so much active duty time and never get a DD-214 for it. That was me. I did so much active duty time while I was in the reserves. And my commander was like, hey, Special Salazar, I saw this came up over here. That was my rank and my name at one time. All right, just for reference. This is a while back. He's Special Salazar. Hey, this just came up. It's electronic warfare, like real cool stuff, and you can get promoted. Do you think this is something you would like to do? I'm like, yeah, sure, sir. If y'all give me the opportunity. He's like, yeah, I just need you to pass your next PT test. Can you do that for me? I got it. So I started running, and I started, working on that. Ended up passing my PT test. I remember my commander at that last little bit, he was like, let's go. I still remember seeing him next to me cheering me on and stuff, and he gave me a hug at the end. He was so proud of me. Anyways, long story short, I ended up making out to Fort Sill for a few months and reclassed to electronic warfare and stuff, and that became my first kind of inside look at what cyber looks like in the military. And so that's why I said I'm very convinced that because of that time, I was able to, I just had like 100 memories flood through my head right now.
It's all good. And again,
hold on a second. I'm gonna keep it together. You know how there's always people in your career that you meet that you don't realize until later. Maybe they did something for you, but you didn't realize it in the moment. But maybe you hit that full circle.
You gotta shout them out. What was that commander's name?
Major Scantlin.
Major Scantlin. Hey, shout out to you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he done ranked up because it's been a while, huh?
Yeah, he's out. He's out now. I follow him on LinkedIn.
Okay. Shout out to him, man. Hey,
but just those little drops, those little breadcrumbs along the way mean a whole lot later on, because his yes meant my yes to this.
Ooh.
And so that's really appreciated, even if it doesn't seem. But I tell you what, for years I've been looking for somebody who did the same thing, who left some breadcrumbs and was able to help me in my career. And I have never been able to get in touch with this man since I've been out of the military, even as I was in the military. I've been looking for him for years and I can't find him.
Well, maybe someone who stumbles on the video, tell them to hit her up. Like, hey man, there's someone out there that appreciates you, because it's you know what? I had a mentor that kind of helped me out, man, on my first deployment, man, because it was a rough one. I say that because we'll talk about that, or maybe on another episode we'll do a deployment episode or something, man. But he like you said, man, gave me a little bit of breadcrumbs, that stuff like that helps, man. Like veterans know, man. Like sometimes you just need that one light that one light to shine through, man,
and one person to believe in you, and it don't matter what rank they are. It doesn't. How often are you hearing of majors believing in a random E4?
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to him, man. So, boom, we're gonna start doing more stuff like that. We want the veterans to know, man, we here for you, man. I mean, we are vets, so we here for the vets, man. So
the 1%, we gotta stick together, baby. I got your back, you got mine. You know what I mean?
I got your 6.
I got your 6. IGY6, baby. I got you.
Hey.